Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. Actress and singer Olivia Holt is stepping into the iconic role of Roxie Hart in the longest-running American musical in Broadway history, Kander and Ebb's Chicago, for 8 weeks only from April 10th through June 4th. And I caught up with Olivia here at the Time Hotel during a break in rehearsal. First of all, I am thrilled to be sitting with you here at the Time Hotel just a few weeks before you're about to make your Broadway debut as Roxie Hart. How excited are you?
There's no words. I'm so excited. I'm beyond myself. I'm so thrilled, so honored, and very, very grateful.
Was Broadway always a dream?
Of course, of course. I started acting in my hometown in at like this little theater company, and it was so fun. I was like 10 years old, and I was like, this is the dream, baby. This is like, I love being on stage. I love the feeling. I love the immediate feedback. Like I loved everything about it. And then I got into television and film, and I knew somewhere in my body that I wanted to make my way back to theater again, and never in my wildest dreams did I think it was going to be on Broadway in Chicago, like never. So I'm still processing it, as you can tell.
Well, it's a lot because you start rehearsals.
Yeah.
And then it's like right then, first preview, then you open and everything else. So you're about to step into the role of Roxie. Like, what do you love about her already while you're learning her?
She's so spunky and fun, and she just has all these really amazing qualities and layers to her, and I feel like I learn something new about her in every rehearsal. And I love that every person that has come in to play Roxie has sort of given their own version of her, and I love that the company sort of allows you to do that, to like create your, like, there's, things that we should stick to and things that make sense for this role, and to create the specific tone of Chicago. But it's just been so fun, like, creating her and learning more about her.
Like being in the rehearsal room, what has that been like for you with learning the show and just, learning the whole craft of theater again?
Oh, the first 3 days, I was in shock. I did not feel like I was in my body. I was just jaw dropped at everything that everybody was saying. I was like, I need everybody to repeat everything like 3 times so it can like actually hit me. But it's just, everyone's so warm and so kind and so welcoming, and just incredibly supportive. And I've just retained so much information in the last couple of weeks, and I now know the whole show, and now I'm just sort of locking in everything.
Yeah. Like perfecting it all.
Yeah.
Okay, learning the iconic Bob Fosse and Ryan King choreography. Was that like really cool to start learning that?
It was so cool. I'm so familiar with it, and everyone just speaks so highly of, Annie, and wanting to, because she has always said they do tailor things, but to keep the Fosse and to just keep all of that in there, that's what makes Chicago Chicago, and I think it's just such a special show.
Yeah.
It's really so special.
Well, let's talk about the iconic songs by John Kander and Fred Ebb.
Yeah.
Did you learn them all together? I mean, what were you working on first?
I listened to the whole show from front, back, starting in the middle I listened to it forever. And then when I went in with Rob Bowman, our musical director,
The best.
That was a whole different experience than just listening to the show and knowing the show. We went song by song by song, and we really found some special moments in there, and I appreciate the show so much more. He has created like a very comfortable and safe space for me to just like play and to create my own version of Roxie, really.
See, that's the great thing about the Chicago company. I've watched so many people go into this show over the 20-something years, 28 years that the show has run. Everybody gets to do their own spin on Roxie.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
Yeah, it is. It gives you this sort of liberating freedom, because you know who she is at her core, right? You know who she is at her core. You know the qualities. You've seen the dialogue. You've seen what's written on the page. And then to bring it to life and it's a whole different experience, and I'm having a lot of fun sort of exploring what that is.
See, that's great because this show is all fun.
Yeah, it is. It's so entertaining. And I had this conversation with our dance captain, David Bushman, the other day, who's just
Another brilliant person.
another brilliant person. But we were just sitting there chatting, and he asked me when I saw the show. I saw the show while I was doing rehearsals. Just it's like it's fun to like see like what everyone else is doing and to like sew it all together, right? He asked me what my favorite part of it was, and I was like, I went into the show, sat in my seat, and looking at it from the perspective of somebody who's about to go in and do it, there were things where I was like, oh, okay, they go there, this person, because we haven't done the put-ins yet, so I haven't worked with anybody else yet, and I'm watching the show, and all of a sudden I forgot that I'm there to do my homework. All of a sudden I'm just like kind of dancing in my seat and having fun. They pulled me in. Like I forgot that I was there to study what everyone was doing and what the staging was and the choreography, and I was an audience member and enjoying and laughing it, and it was great. So we had like a really cool moment talking about that, and it just really shows you how iconic and special and moving this show is and can be.
Yeah. You've had a fitting already for your outfit, right?
Yeah.
So when you first saw yourself like done up in the mirror with like your new William Ivy Long, your new, Roxie Hart outfit, what went through your mind?
I cried. I cried. I just was like so emotional. It really is such a cool experience, and everyone has very different body types, and so we were figuring out what was going to be the right fit for me, and that just is so cool, when they tailor it to your body and it feels like it's yours versus it just sort of being thrown on you and being like, yeah, this is the look, this is like what we always do, which there is a level of that, right? But when it's like being tailored to you, and then you just sort of become the character in that way. So yeah, I loved the fitting.
See, that's what I love because sometimes the sleeves are longer or it just, it fits you, which is really cool. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so like, we talked about being on Broadway, whatever. So when you were sitting in the house watching the show, like, what do you think is going to happen that first performance when you're on stage on April 10th? What are you looking forward to the most?
I hope people like it.
They're going to love it, just so you know. They're going to love you in this.
Thank you. I really am just so looking forward to putting it all together, I'm excited to work with the cast. I'm excited to just bring it all to life. I'm excited for the audience to just have the same experience that I did, just being pulled into this like riveting story, and to leave just feeling inspired, and to leave feeling moved, and to want to dance or sing or just do something. I feel like this show really can impact you in that way, and I hope that I can do that for people every night.
Oh, you will. What I love about you is you're going to bring a whole new young audience to the theater because they know you from film, from TV, and recording, and you're going to introduce them to this whole new world of live theater.
Yeah.
What that means to you.
Oh God, I think people are gonna fall in love with it. Like they're gonna see this show, and then they're gonna see it again, and then they're gonna see it again, or maybe they're gonna see it again in 5 years, and they're gonna, it's like I love that it has stayed, and it has just created a world, a community of people. I mean, people keep coming back for a reason, and I'm very grateful, and I'm excited for the fans who have followed me to come and see this and to be introduced to this incredible world, because I've been introduced to it in a whole new way, and I'm pumped. I'm very, very excited.
Because you're an inspiration to so many people. When I was telling people that you were coming to the show, like, oh my God, I've never been to a Broadway show. They ask their parents to take them. I think that's the coolest thing.
That's so cool. That's so cool. I've had a few of my childhood friends are gonna come, and they're like, I've never even seen a musical before, and I'm like, well, just you wait, because this is the one to see. If it's gonna be so many people's first musical, which I think is that's iconic. It's amazing.
Why do you think this is such a success, this show?
I think because even though this story has been around for decades, it still lives in every generation. I think that there's so many stories that connect to this day and age. There's so many characters. I mean, even Roxie, just like this female character with all these different layers and all of these different emotions. I think it's so important to see female roles like that. And I think a lot of people will see themselves in not just Roxie, but Velma, or, I think that there's so many pieces that people can grab from this show and take with them and feel like they related to, or that will inspire them, or, and I mean, it's an incredible story.
The theater is right across the street. The Ambassador is one of the most beautiful houses. The marquee is up. Like the first time you walked by and you were like, oh my God, I'm going to be here. I'm coming to Broadway. Like, what went through your mind?
Everything. Just the thought of this is going to be my home for the next few months, and everyone's just so supportive and kind. I mean, I've met so many wonderful people in this theater. I mean, this theater is also just so nostalgic and cool, and during my 5-minute breaks I'll just walk around and like look at all the cool details, and it's such a stunning theater. And yeah, it's gonna be my home, so I'm just trying to make myself comfy, and it feels really, I mean, that just seeing that every day, I can't believe it. Every time I walk up to the theater, I'm like, oh, this is where I go every day.
So remember, on your first performance, at opening night of yours, your Broadway debut, when you take your bow, make it from the heart. Don't make it technical. It happens once. Take it all in, and just remember this forever.
Thank you for that. Thank you. I will.
Welcome to Broadway.
Thank you.